Hello, my name is Ilona, and there is a lot of destruction going on in the news. We have Pelosi, who's the Speaker of the House from the United States, apparently visiting Taiwan, or is she? There is so much confusion going on, and the media is reporting this, so usually this is a distraction. And of course, the dark energies want to start a war. They need it to confuse people, to make sure certain information doesn't come out, to gain certain, their control back, sort of, in their heads. They think that will lead to their, how do you say that, taking back the reins. It's not going to happen. I do believe there's going to be a scare event, so that it will seem like there's going to be another war, but it's not really going to happen. I do believe the White Hats will step in by then, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's almost like they're trying to push things, especially with Taiwan. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen now. I feel that this is a distraction, of course, from everything that's going on with the son of Mr. B and all the things coming out about Mr. B. It's just trying to distract people to look somewhere else. And of course, I also saw that they're, again, the same tricks. Now they're doing it with the monkey thing. The big three blue states, New York, California, and Illinois, all announced a state of emergency because of the monkey thing. Very interesting. They're, of course, trying to confuse things and trying to gain the upper hand in the voting system. That is, of course, going to happen. So this is just the same old thing they're trying to get away with, and I don't think that's going to happen. People are aware, and this is just textbook what they do. They really are not creative. I already mentioned it before in many videos. They cannot create. They can make a plan and they just have to follow that plan. It's almost impossible for them to be flexible and trying to change it, so they'll come up with the same strategies and it's not going to work, at least not how I see things going to work out. I also saw something about a complaint made, but this is made in April 2022 from the, the American First Legal Foundation against the CDC. And this is about colluding with all the media, so to speak. American First Legal filed a Freedom of Information Act request to investigate on constitutional acts between the federal government and the big tech social media platforms. They've obtained communication between the CDC, Google, Facebook, and Twitter. And these go against, of course, the Constitution and violated the Nuremberg Code. So this is very interesting. I do think a lot of court cases have been filed, but we just don't know about this. This is from April 2022. So it's very interesting where this is going to lead to. And I do believe that more and more things, of course, about what happened in November 2020 are going to come out as well. But there's so much going on that's been suppressed that the media doesn't want you to know about. And of course, they come up with all these distraction, so people will not even read those things or not even notice that they're there. So I want to take a look first about the chaotic period we're heading in. Well, we're pretty much in already. A lot of people are now leaving the earth plane because of the damage of the wasp sting, which will lead to chaos. I do understand people that are like, yeah, you shouldn't focus on that. We should believe that we'll get through smooth sailing. And I do believe that, especially the White Hats, and of course we want to, go through this period as smooth as possible. But before we can enter like this new energy that's already there, but before we can start manifesting this, old system will have to fall. And there are people that are still completely holding on to this old system. So for everything to fall apart, there will be a chaotic period. And like I've said, where the damage of the wasp sting is now getting very visible We've already seen it with a lot of people since September here in the Netherlands. There, more people are dying, and they have no experience. How do you say? There's no explanation for it, or at least we know what it's about, but they won't say it. They're kind of confusing things, trying to come up with all these very strange explanations. But this has been going on, and I do believe that we're going to see more and more people getting sick because of what's going on. And of course, we've already noticing that a lot of people, the working force, that they barely, how do you say this, so many people are looking for employees because they can barely get someone to work for them, because it's almost like everyone has disappeared, at least here in the Netherlands, and I believe it is worldwide. You see that also with the airlines. A lot of people, they're missing people to work for them. So things cannot, the jobs, there's no one to do the jobs anymore. A lot of people are falling away. So this is going to lead to chaotic situations. And of course, everything is falling apart. The financial system, the medical system, the law system, legal systems, everything is going to fall. And that will lead to chaos. I'm just going to take a look the energy of that chaotic period. Yeah, see a lot of old pain. This one is falling out. This is the Three of Swords, and this is about a lot of old pain that needs to be healed. So I'm just going to put this one as the card above. This is the central card. That is the Eight of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles in the past. The Moon underneath the central card. And for the future, we have the Emperor, and we have the Seven of Swords. So we have a lot of swords cards, which are, how do you say this, the more negative or more the mental side. So this is going to lead to, how do you say this, a lot of people are going to feel very limited, are going to be very afraid. It is ultimately our own making. I've said this before. This card is really about your own, how do you say this, things you believe in, the systems you believe in, and it's going to fall apart, and it's going to terrify a lot of people. And there's still a lot of people who just don't want to see, do not want to see things falling apart. They want to hold on to what's there. So that's going to lead to a lot of chaotic things. People holding on, resisting change, afraid of the change because they don't know where this is heading towards. They can't see the path. They don't understand what's going on. So the chaotic part will be, of course, people getting sick, not understanding what's going on. Information coming out that this really has to do with the wasp sting, which will terrify people. Let's face it, a lot of people thought that they were doing the right thing. They even got their children the wasp sting, and they're going to find out that what they've done really is a ticking bomb, not just for them, but also for their children and for their family. This is going to be very shocking. And of course, like I've said, people are falling away. People are leaving the earth plane. We can see it around us, that these people, sudden death syndrome. Suddenly they're not there anymore. So I think we're going to see more and more of that, and that's of course going to terrify people. People will not be able to understand that, or maybe not be able to cope with that. Of course, the system are going to fall apart, which is terrifying because a lot of people are completely, how do you say this, dependent on things around them. Of course, the dark energies have created this society that we look outside of ourselves and not inside of ourselves, because then we would of course become too powerful for them. Because if we start understanding who we really are, the Great Awakening, we can start manifesting and using our energies for what we want and not for what the dark energies want. But this is still a very confusing period. So a lot of people will not be able to cope with that. They need help. Helping to get them along, to get them through this period. That's why it's so important for the people that are aware to really step into our powers, to really step into our energy and really deal with things so we are ready to help other people if they're open for that. Because I'm sure there will be people who will completely be blocked in this system, who will not be able to get rid of this blindfold, who really do not want to see. And that is all right. Everyone has to make a choice in that. And everyone has a choice. Of course, we are here in a free will. How do you say this? This is a free will, the energy here. So everyone will have to make their own decision if they're opening themselves up, if they are waking up or not. But it's going to get rough. Lots of old pain will come up. Lots of healing will need to be done, and then people will have to understand how to do that, how to get in touch with their own shadow side, because ultimately that will be the biggest work for every one of us, is to deal with our own energies, to deal with what we carry with us. This is like the future. And this is interesting because this feels like the military, the emperor. And we have, of course, the Seven of Swords. So to me, this, especially in the chaotic period, I do believe the military, so the white hats I'm talking about, will step up. And they will make sure that no one will get away with things. So especially people that have been working with the dark energies, they are not going anywhere. They may think now still that they might get away with it. They're not getting away with anything. But they will try to bring in a new order, the military. I do believe that the white hats will try to bring in new order. But ultimately, it is up to each and every one of us to really start waking up, to using our energies. And there will be people that will choose to leave the earth plane, that will choose a different path. Maybe their soul contract is to help from the other side. We just don't know. So we'll have to let go of that as well. I fully understand. I have loved ones who've taken the wasp sting. I have no idea what kind of effect that will have. But the choices, everyone will have to make their own choices and how things will work out. I do want to mention that just because someone got the wasp sting, that doesn't automatically will mean that they will have damage or that they will leave the earth plane. I think it has to do with which one they've got, because there were a few ones out there, and it's about their connection with their consciousness. Are they still connected inside themselves with what's going on? Like, are they still able to reach their intuition, their connection with God, their connection with the universe? I believe, and this is my personal how I see things, so see if it resonates with you or not, that if people are still capable of connecting with God, connecting with the intuition, they are capable of getting through this. This doesn't automatically mean that they will leave or have damages or get sick. I do believe that, but it's ultimately up to if the person still can connect with their soul, with God. If they're completely disconnected because of the wasp sting, some wasp stings are really meant to disconnect you. They will just become more and more negative. It is possible they can still snap out of it. I don't know, because there is so much we are capable of a lot of things, but that will be up to ultimately the soul of the how do you say this, of each and every one of us. It's our soul contracts, and they will decide, the soul will decide what is going to happen. We just don't know. But I do believe that people who are still connected, even if they've gotten the wasp stings, that if they're still connected with their, how to say that, their, with God, with their consciousness, I do believe they can get through this. So that's how I see things. But ultimately, this is about waking up. This is about our connection to our souls, to God, to our intuition. And if it's still there, we can work from then. We can start connecting with our energies and start using it to manifest. But it's so important that we really start connecting with ourselves. We don't look outside of ourselves for help for that. I want to mention that because I was reading a reaction on my video from Sunday, like, yeah, well, we have to get in action. We have to, how do you say this? not sit still or just think everything is going to happen. Apparently this person thought that that's what I was mentioning in my video, that we should just all sit back and have the white hats take over. I've mentioned this before in a couple of videos. This is not about sitting back. This is about stepping into our own energy, and that takes a lot of work. Especially shadow work is so important, and I am probably going to do a video about that as well, about doing this work. And if you start doing that, if you start connecting with your energies in completely embracing every part, you will ultimately and start doing things. We are creative. You're not going to sit on a couch all day just minding your own business, working with your own energies. Maybe for a little bit you will start, you know, it depends on the process you're in. If you're really still dealing with a lot of things, of course you need to take some time to deal with that. But once you start letting go of things and transforming your energy, you will start to do things. You want to do things because we are creative beings. They've tried to suppress the creativeness in us for such a long time, the dark energies. But if we start working with our energies, we will start influencing other people because we start radiating that energy. So we are connected with everything around us. If we change energetically, everything around us will change. We will start acting differently towards ourselves, more respectfully. We will make sure that people that are toxic or that the relationship is not good, we'll just let go of that because it doesn't fit us energetically anymore. Certain situation at our job or in our family, we will step away or change things, because if you change energetically, you will change everything. That's the source. That's why that work is so important. So if you start working with yourself, you will, of course, like I've said before, probably will start going less to the supermarket, get your vegetables, your food through the farmers themselves, get different ways of doing things. So I just want to emphasize that if you work with yourself, things will change because you will look at things differently. So I want to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.